Hello, welcome back to the channel. Well, I had to do this one last time because after the last review of Henry Cavill, it's coming to him first. I posed him alongside the rest of the gang, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg and this guy to make my own version of the Justice League. And I said afterwards that I would be posing these two together, so while watching TV I do what I normally do, is I get a figure and I pose it out, but I was posing these two and decided to get some of the ideas on camera just to get the flexibility across and how good they look. I like that pose. I've got them in movement mode, as you can see down there. I've manipulated his toe articulation as though he's sprinting forward. I love him. And as I said in the previous review, he's not exactly the likeness of Henry Cavill, but he's in the ballpark, and it's the suit, the black suit look I was merely going after, and I'm really glad I got him. And he does look good next to Batman there. And as I said before, in an earlier review, they're going to re-release this Batman, but they're going to make that blue wash darker, which I prefer actually, but I do like this figure. I mean, getting him into some nice poses with big weapons, but he does come with fighting fists as well. So that's kind of the first pose. I'm going to do a few more, so stay tuned. So I've taken Batman off the stand because today this was the figure, or the day before I got this figure, and then I picked it up at the shop today in the afternoon. But I'm trying to get him now into some nice poses. This is just a sort of pose to pose. And he looks good on camera. And also I think the lighting in this room is better. In the living room, where he's going to be posed out with the Batman you've just seen. But that's kind of a very standard static pose, but I like it. He's got kind of presence there. Look at the detail of that suit, which is just the same as the laser vision Henry Cavill Superman, but it's the black look I like, in very much the same way I like the red wash look of Kingdom Come Superman. But that's the kind of standard pose. Let's see what else we can do with him. No, that's not a bad one. Got him leaning forward a little bit, looking down towards the ground as though he's about to hit something. Like that. Yeah, the hands now. That's one thing. These sort of hands, I thought they were pegged in with like glue and you couldn't get them off, but you can. And I thought, great, I've got some extra hands that came with my Christopher Reeve Superman, and when I came to put them on, in terms of scale, they're slightly too big, and also the flesh tone is a different flesh tone to this one, so I had to knock it on the head. But I'm sure they did release the first wave of the Superman Henry Cavill with some extra hands, so if I ever come across any floating about, I'll change these hands out, and because I know he's got gripping hands and I'll have him holding things. But let's try another pose. Another one a bit different. He's looking upwards now, just showing some of the head articulation. Opened out his arm a bit as though he's kind of reaching for something, if I show it from that angle. But yeah, that's not bad. And keeping him in this pose, I'm going to turn him around so you can see the cape. So there's the cape. I like that cape. Nicely sculpted. And bet you're tired of hearing me say it, but I am a fan of the sculpted capes. I know lots of people don't. They do like the wide capes. And I will admit that I do like wide capes and cloth capes, but I just like the moulded thing. I don't know why. Just the artistry, the simplicity. Saves a lot of fiddling when it comes to posing. Although it's fun to pose the wide capes out and the cloth capes, but that's the back of his cape. So it saves me now getting any wires, because I thought it was a cloth cape without wires, and I thought I'd have to go out and get some wires so I could get them in to the little grooves that are on the cape themselves, so you can pose them out. But it's not important now. Let's carry on. So there's his first kind of flight pose now. What I like about this figure, you don't have to move him a lot, because he's got a kind of presence. And that's such a nice and simple design. But that's a simple flight pose there. I'm going to get this better, because I know I can. This isn't bad. I've got him slightly twisted. He's kind of got his hand raised as he's looking down. I feel there are better ones I can do. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I'll have a go at them, see what comes out. Right then. Quite like this one. Try to get a bit more imaginative with him. Not bad. Yeah, while I was over at my friend's, we went onto the internet and we clocked this Superman museum in Illinois. Absolutely brilliant. From the vintage stuff to the modern stuff, and some rare toys, books, magazines, you name it, it was Superman. It was awesome. And one of my first early remembrances of Superman was George Reeves, and they're starting to give him a bit more respect. I think they're going to bring some figures out and stuff like that. But I remember as a kid watching him as my first Superman in black and white, and then they colorized him. And then at the time the effects seemed quite advanced, but although they're very corny now, it's still a great series, very nostalgic to watch. But I have to say Henry Cavill is a personal favourite outside of Christopher Reeve. Let's try something else. Yep. Getting more imaginative. I like that. I do like that. I think I'll do 2 more and then I'll wind it up. But there's a chance I could have him on a flight stand and have Batman obviously just standing there, but we'll see. Like it though. Yeah, I'll do 2 more. I apologise if you hear any noises outside. I live in a street with 4 pubs, and you get some right, I won't say it on camera, walking around making noises. Let's try something else. So this is square on, and this is basically Superman as I like to see him in his flying mode. Got him kind of horizontal. Kind of like that. I've got a few Supermen, you can't quite get them in this articulate into the flying mode. They're in the ballpark, but not quite as good as this. I like it. I'll do 1 more. Right. So this is the last one then. And I quite like the way those 2 look together. I brought Batman back, because I was originally going to put them both obviously on the platform without a flight stand, but seeing Superman like that, I kind of like the dynamic. Even that pose is not bad. Got his arm back behind him now and his fist obviously forward. But that's a nice flight pose for him. Wouldn't mind trying that one with the laser vision Superman Henry Cavill I've got. But that's nice. And then Batman is staying in this pose because I've posed him deliberately this way off camera, so I wouldn't have to worry about it later. So he's going to look exactly this way in the living room with Henry Cavill on the flight stand, because I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll test it out. If it's not right, it's not right, but I'll leave it there anyway. And I think in the Christmas reviews you'll pretty much see them in the area I'm going to put them in now, but maybe not in this pose. But I do like the way they look together. And I'm going to come in a little bit closer and say thanks for watching the channel, and I'll see you again next time.